Hi, so my name is Kissy Coakley, and I'm executive of Kissy State Put Services. My work that I do, I deal with domestic violence slash victim survivors. So victim survivors are basically women who are being criminally charged who experience domestic violence. One of the things that I really think should happen is that when a law enforcement come on the scene, they make sure that they identify who is actually being the abuser in the case. Um, there have been times where I clearly could read through a police report and saw that this woman shouldn't have been charged. And for me, it would be law enforcement just taking time to really step back and listen and really think about who's the abuser in the case and make the proper decision. Or if they don't know clearly, not to charge the woman or charge anyone in the case until they really are clear about who's the abuser at that time. I feel like there's more education out there around domestic and sexual assault. And so I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that law enforcement is like really being intentional about the different domestic and sexual assault cases. I know that the city that I'm in, I really believe that our law enforcement is doing their jobs, and I support our law enforcement. And so I'm just going to say I'm hopeful about that. And a lot of times when you talk to people that's in a situation of domestic abuse, they'll talk about childhood stuff. And you would quickly identify that the first abuse happened during childhood. So I believe that prevention, the early prevention, working with them ahead of time, if they know that they're in a situation where it could possibly get abusive, or they could be either physically abused or become the abuser, why not get up ahead of those things? Why not start talking about some of the concerns, some of the issues that they may be having, or some of the trauma pieces that kind of resonate within themselves? In fact, landlords don't want to rent to people who have domestic abuse calls, let alone charged and convicted. So how do you talk about that when you're renting a house? Or how do you talk about that when you're looking at employment? Because it's not just one issue, there's layers. You know, you become homeless. If the woman is the primary breadwinner of the home who is providing a financial piece, if they're being criminalized for domestic abuse, fighting back or trying to survive, then that's keeping them out of employment, that's keeping them out of housing, that's keeping them from providing for their children, their families. And so that is causing a major ripple effect throughout our state, throughout our cities, throughout our country.